Hey fight fans, this is Richard Schaefer and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so the world boxing corruption. However, WBC have announced new rankings up and down the weight divisions. In this particular video, we're going to be talking about the heavyweight division. So there has been minor changes, and of course, each and every month, as soon as they release new rankings for all the sanctioning bodies, videos will follow suit, just so we can keep up to date as to who's who, what's when, and how in the heavyweight division. So it's a good way of tracking to see what's going on, the current landscape. So I'm going to go through the top 15 as I always do, point out the changes compared to last month, see what fights have recently happened, what fights are being made, give an overall thoughts, my opinions on the new top 15. So if you are new to the channel, please make sure you are subscribed. You don't want to miss these videos. It's a great way of keeping up to date. Anyway, so here are the rankings. Tyson Fury is a WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Number 1, Deontay Wilder. Number 2, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 3, Frank Sanchez. Number 4, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Number 5, Anthony Joshua. Number 6, Dillian Whyte. Number 7, Martin Bakole. Number 8, Zhan Kozabuski. Number 9, Otto Wallin. Number 10, Joseph Parker. Number 11, Jared Anderson. Number 12, Luis Ortiz. Number 13, F.A. Jagba. Number 14, Filip Hrgovic. And number 15, Bakodir Jalolov. So there you go. There's top 15 for the month of February for the WBC. In the heavyweight division, dropped out this month is Zhilei Zhang. Now, is it a surprise that Zhilei Zhang's been dropped? I mean, he was number 15 last month. So, not really, though, because obviously since last month, he's now announced he's going to be fighting Joe Joyce, and that will be for the WBO Interim World Heavyweight Championship and, of course, WBO Mandatory. So, if he wins, he becomes WBO Interim Champion. Therefore, he can't be ranked by any other organisation, which is why Joe Joyce is not here, for example. But if he loses, then of course that's 2 losses on the trot officially. Some people say that he did beat Filip Hrgovic, but officially he didn't get it. So that'd be 2 losses on the trot. You can't be ranked in the top 15 with like that, can you? You can't, especially against non-champions. So anyway, that is a top 15 for the month of February. So the biggest change, I suppose, is the fresh insert of F.A. Jagba at number 13. Jagba is now a top-ranked fighter. Of course, he's left the PBC now. Now he's part of Top Rank, and he defeated Stephen Shaw last time out. It was a very good victory for him. It really was. Jagba, he's only got 1 loss on his record, and that was to Frank Sanchez quite some time ago. For those of you who watched the undercard of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder Part 3, that fight took place there, and F.A. Jagba lost that fight. But he's a good fighter, decent fighter. I'd like to see him really step up again. I want to see really what he's made of. In-house fight, top-ranked fight, him versus number 11, Jared Anderson. That would be an interesting one, that's for sure. Or anybody in this top 15 will do nicely. But that's it. No real changes. A couple of ones up, a couple of ones down. Nothing really worth speaking about. But I suppose fights that have been made, or potentially happening at least, Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, could be defending that belt and going for his former belt that Alexander Usyk has for undisputed. It looks like that's going to be April 29th at Wembley Stadium. We're still waiting for Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz Jr. to lock that fight in. There seems to be some issues with the PBC. I think that's why Wilder is talking to other promoters, maybe get a bit more money, and of course guaranteed money as well, not promise something that you're not going to get. So hopefully that they get that fight over the line, get it done and dusted. It's a decent fight, right? Now in this top 15, of course, number 5, Anthony Joshua, has now got an opponent, and that'll be for April the 1st against Jermaine Franklin. So it'd be interesting to see what Anthony Joshua turns up, how he deals with Jermaine Franklin, if at all. You never know, it's heavyweight boxing. But of course, you have to make Anthony Joshua the favourite, and hopefully goes in there and looks very, very well. Number 6, Dillian Whyte. I know he's a little frustrated that he hasn't got an opponent locked in yet. So we'll have to wait and see who it is that he's fighting. Of course, there's various different rumours. Maybe number 9, Otto Wallin. Maybe resurrect that fight. We'll have to see going forward. Number 7, Martin Bakole. Since last month, he's now signed an exclusive deal with Boxer and Sky Sports. So it'll be interesting to see what Martin Bakole does. I think Martin Bakole, he seems to be one of these fighters who's got a lot of tools, a lot of attributes, could do very, very well. He ain't the best around, that's for sure. And I think a lot of that is down to the fact he could do with a better coach. I don't think Billy Nelson's very good at all. Imagine if Martin Bakole actually had a real good coach. Listen, people ain't knocking on the door of Billy Nelson and his crazy nose hairs. So we'll have to wait and see what Martin Bakole does next. Last time he fought was against Tony Yoka. That was a year ago, man. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. Looks like it could be on March the 11th in France. Boxer have announced that date. I think it's March the 11th, but they're definitely going to France in and around that time. Maybe it's Martin Bakole. He's the only person I can think of on the Boxer stable that actually speaks French. Of course, he defeated Tony Yoka in France. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Number 10, Joseph Parker. He has moved up a position, but that's because, he won last time out, of course. But weren't a spectacular performance, I don't think. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Joseph Parker going forward. Joseph Parker against whom? Of course, he's a boxer fighter as well. Maybe him versus Bakole. That'd be an interesting one. Why not? That should be pretty straightforward to make, although I wouldn't have thought Billy Nelson would take that fight. But you never know. Joseph Parker, again, somebody in this top 15. Let's see him bounce back now, okay? Of course, he lost by knockout to Joe Joyce. He's had a comeback fight now against a cruiserweight. Now let's see what he does going forward. He says he wants a rematch with Dillian Whyte, a rematch with Anthony Joshua, and so forth and so on. Michael Hunter seems to be the opponent that Joseph Parker is going to be fighting next. Michael Hunter has said that recently to Behind the Gloves. So we'll have to wait and see for that one. But other than that, no great changes. Number 12, Luis Ortiz, he's still kicking around with his Zimmer frame. I don't know why he's in the top 15. I have no idea at all. But for me, I'd like to see Luis Ortiz take on, say, Derek Chisora. Winner stays on, loser retires. Why not? But as I said, other than that, no great changes at all. Filip Perkovic, of course, is now going to be entering purse bids with Andy Ruiz Jr., but I can't see that fight coming off at all. But you never know. You never know. That'd be interesting. Jalolov, that'd be good. 12-0. Big puncher, of course, Olympic gold medalist and all that kind of good stuff. But who's he going to fight going forward? Somebody in this top 15 would be lovely. It really would. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the top 15 for the WBC. I think overall, they're okay. I think if you really think about some of the top fighters in and around the heavyweight division, they're pretty much in the rankings where possible. Of course, people like Joe Joyce can't be ranked here because he's WBO interim champion. Usyk, of course, he's champion of other organisations and that. But I think overall, not bad. Of course, you could always slip one or two in, maybe remove one or two others. But other than that, not bad. In the order, no. Listen, we're never going to agree on the order. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see if by this time next month, when we're doing another rankings video, what fights have happened. Would Wilder, Ruiz get their fight on, announced, all that kind of stuff. See what other fights are happening. Hopefully, I want to see a very, very busy heavyweight division this year. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.